Hello and welcome, friend. My name is Tricia, and I recently ended my marriage of 18 years. As a newly solo, middle aged person in a small Midwestern community, I found myself somewhat adrift with so many questions for friends and family. And the latest one is this: how do you date? So I decided to start asking people to share the gems of wisdom they've gained along their journeys. Welcome to a new series of How Do You Solo? We're talking dating with my friend Madeleine. Some of you may remember her from series 1. She's got a lot of great insights on thriving while solo. Let's get to it.
So, Madeline, could you tell us who are you and what do you want?
So my name is Madeline. In the most ideal world possible, I would, of course, be getting published, still
Oh,
enjoying my job as a staff project specialist, getting published, and occasionally I would be there and could go out maybe once a month to go do something, but that had a life of their own and was busy with creative projects themselves, so couldn't meet up like every other day like a lot of men seem to want. They would just
yes.
their own stuff going on and they would be busy and maybe we'd go do fun thing once a month and see each other one other time, like maybe for a quick dinner, and that's it. And they wouldn't
Yeah.
mind if I still went on trips with my girlfriend or maybe even another friend or had another guy friend come visit because they'd be comfortable and they'd know I had my freedom. And that would be my ideal situation.
But it's something like to look forward to.
Well, think about it. Think about it. Like the traditional way of dating is like you start dating, you get to know each other. Oh my God, all of a sudden you want to be together all the time. You see each other all the time. You start becoming an intricate part of every aspect of your life and intertwined with everything in your life. And the whole point of that is one day you're going to get married and per tradition is have kids. So you're basically going to get together and run a business
Yeah.
and
Parenting
a
business.
facility and like a house, and if you're not going to do those things, you don't actually need to spend all of your time together prepping to become business partners, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
you're not in planning to run a facility and, be the leaders of other lives, like, you can
Yeah.
actually have a much more relaxed approach, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I really like that. Could you tell us the story of your weirdest date?
Oh my god, I feel like I can't think of what the well, I mean, we talked last time, one of my dates was going to shoot a hog and then quarter it and butcher it, so we would have meat for, like, the next season. So, that was weird for terms of what people think dating is, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
I went frog hunting for a date once. I thought that was really cool. By the way, these people, when they took me on these dates early on, I did marry them. So I don't know if that's a cue for men out there. Maybe try something non-traditional.
Yeah.
But I don't know if frog hunting would lure most women. Like, would you even go frog hunting, Trisha?
Well, I don't I like animals too much. You know what I mean? I if there's a fly in the house, I want to try to get it shoo it out of the house. I don't, you know what I mean? Like
So basically, you would go frog hunting and come home with like 10 frog pets.
yeah. Well, except for that I wouldn't wanna keep them because I feel like that would be, sad for them, their lives now in my terrarium or whatever in my house versus,
You would go
I would
frog
go
hunting, pick up the frogs, look at them, and be like, "Ah, you poor guy, I'm releasing you into the wild." Is that what you
yeah, no, yeah, my version of this date would be, walking along the trail and looking for the baby turtles that are, sunning themselves, but it's getting near dark time, and actually it's like, "Little guy, you gotta make it all the way over to the river over here," it would be like a
exactly.
catch and release program.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So, like, I would say for the most part, the dates have been fairly normal. I mean, exciting in different ways. Like, I remember going to a concert on the back of a motorcycle in my early 20s, or
That's fun.
yeah, so that was fun. So, I had not been after the frog hunting adventure, like a couple weekends after that, he actually took me to Florida to go to Marco Island and go shark fishing. But, like, for just a weird date where I'm like, "God, this is not right, and this guy did not plan this well." No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys, like, they're either down for whatever you say you wanna do, or they're
Yes.
pretty willing to set up a cool event or make it cool in some way. I've kind of always, like, digressed, though, from those Like, unless you're already my friend, if you're like the Netflix and chill guy, the first time I'm probably gonna be like, "No, dude, I've got Netflix and I can chill by myself."
Yes, yeah. I wonder how much of that is also just you being like, I don't know, like filtering maybe better. Like you filtering like your the men that you're potentially going to go on dates with and being inquisitive about what is this experience going to be like or shaping it in a way that you're like, "But that doesn't sound fun," and just that weird date never happened because you just chose in advance like, nope, you know?
I've got a good one, and this kind of covers, one of your other questions too. Am I allowed to kinda answer this and tell a
Yes.
weird dating story?
Yes.
So you said that you'd probably wanna talk about dating apps I've used and what did I like or not like about them.
Yes.
Well, I got on Tinder in my mid-20s. I think I was going back to school then for my bachelor's. I had finished my associates, taken a couple years off, not intentionally, and I was starting to go back for my bachelor's degree. And I hopped on Tinder because people were telling me it was awesome and I needed to check it out. And I've never even been a big dater. I've probably canceled as many dates as I've gone on, and because I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea," because I'm in extroverted mode right then. Then I get home and I don't wanna leave again, and by the time the date comes, I'm like, "Yeah." A couple days before, I'm like, "Yeah, I changed my mind. Sorry." Anyway, this one, we go on a, like, a coffee date first. He's from another town. It's, like, 45 minutes away. We meet or, like, an hour and a half away. We meet in the middle, have coffee one day, lunch another day, and then dinner another time. Those all go pretty well, but then he is like, "Look, I've gotta go to a wedding. I don't have a date. Would you please accompany me?"
My.
And he's like, "There's a room, blah, blah. You can either get your own room or just share a room with me. It's up to you." And he's like, "But," he was like, "I'd love for you to come to this wedding with me, blah, 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 and have you on my arm." So I agree to go. The wedding is great. I do find it a little bit funny that he's presenting me as the Italian. I am not Italian.
What?
Apparently, he'd been describing me as an Italian looking or an Italian woman, and, he seemed to find it very exotic. Mind you, he is like a Midwestern,
Yeah.
farmer. He owns a bunch of land, and his family is wealthy, and he's becoming wealthy because he owns a bunch of land, and it's very hard work, but, yeah, apparently, as a Midwest farmer, he thought I was an Italian and found that very exotic, and that was how he
Oh
was
my goodness.
presenting me at this wedding of other Midwestern farmer people together.
Oh my
And so I
gosh.
found that very interesting. And, but then later in the night, he starts getting into stuff about farming and politics and race, and
My.
he just comes out kind of as a blatant racist. And
My.
I like keep trying to tell him, I'm like, "Dude, please don't go down this path. Like, we shouldn't go down this path. We can't talk about this. You're heading in a direction where I will say things to you that I can never take back." And at some point, he
Wait,
said,
is this at the wedding?
this is, like, kind of following so it's kind of following the wedding reception. Everyone's drinking, eating at this
Are you
point.
sharing a room?
We are supposed to be sharing a room that night. I
Oh my
had
gosh.
shaved and cleaned my legs in preparation thinking
Yep,
I would be getting some that night, and then he opens
yep,
his mouth and continues down this path, and I'm like, I become angry because not only is he a racist, but I will not be getting any because he is a racist.
right? Right? You're just like, "You shut your mouth, oh, you
And then
annoying
eventually I'm like,
racist."
"Oh, no, you just ruined this wonderful night," and suddenly it
Yeah,
just
'cause
makes sense.
there's no coming back from that, like, none at all.
No,
Like,
no.
"Sorry, I, like, literally cannot be attracted to you anymore," just like, "It's broken. It's done."
Like, this is you don't these are things you wait to discuss, like, it's a door, like, what is your stance on politics? Not just, like, I launch into this and hope no one, like, shoots me because I'm so terrible of a person for what I'm saying right now.
Wait, did this go along with him being like, "She's Italian"? But, like, what?
That's you see what I'm saying now? I'm like, now that all these things are clicking, obviously on the sexy Italian piece, I don't know what connotations Italians have in his mind, so I'm like,
Right.
at some point, like, I got a different room, we went our separate ways. He did
Yeah.
try to reach out and, like, make amends later when he was a little more sober. I think
Uh-huh.
he drank a little bit and got loose-lipped, but he wasn't drunk by any means, he was just, at best, buzzed, and I'm like, "If that's what comes out buzzed, then I would
Yeah.
never wanna be around you drunk,
Yeah, no.
or honestly just around you again."
Yeah. 'Cause, like, it just because you said it when you wouldn't have said it doesn't mean that you're not thinking it at
Yeah,
all.
and the fact that he said it in a group of people who were all just sitting there nodding their heads, it's
Ugh.
like, I felt like, "Wow, I'm in very alien territory."
Yeah.
Anyway, so in some ways we had some good first dates and then we just got to this, semi-normal situation. Although I think that going to wedding that soon, but honestly, how many people have you been like, "Oh my god, I need a date to a wedding," and you'll take like a friend or just anyone just because you don't want to go alone?
Right. I think at this stage, I would just go alone.
There have been a few weddings I've gone to where the guy didn't wanna go alone. There have been very few times where my girlfriend's like,
Yes.
"Hey, come with me, I don't wanna go to this wedding alone." They just go alone, the girls do. But,
Yes.
like, even when I was younger, I remember the guys reaching out and being like, "Hey, I've gotta go to this wedding, will you go with me?" And I'm like, I wonder if there's
Yes.
some quiet pressure toward
Yes.
men about that that I don't know about.
I think so. I remember really enjoying going to weddings single because I love dancing and it's
Yeah,
easier, like almost none of the men that I know around here anyway enjoy dancing. And so it's easier to be a single person dancing than like, there's some guy that like is not going to dance with me, but he's just going to like be on the sidelines being, I don't know what, anxious, nervous, maybe. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like what
dragging
if
me
somebody starts
down.
dancing? Like, yeah, it's just yeah.
Okay, and other awkward and this guy I had actually this is not a first date. We'd been in a relationship forever, like 2.5 years. We're secretly engaged at this point and about to come out ourselves. And this is part of the reason why by the time the engagement did come out, it never really went through. But we went to his buddy's wedding and the guy just made it like he's my boyfriend, he was my friend, and mind you, I knew he had been socially awkward and that he struggled with that, he was a shyer guy, but the whole event was just he struggled to, like, even t talk to me because we were surrounded by so many new people when we were dancing, he was so busy, like, looking around and trying to, like, evaluate where people were and if they were looking at us that we weren't, like, enjoying our dance, and I just realized I'm this person who loves music and loves to dance, and
Yes.
he is so nervous in the situation, making even dancing awkward, interaction awkward, and I just knew at that point, I was like, just at being at his wedding, I was like, "I love you so much, man, but you're gonna need someone who doesn't wanna enjoy themselves when they're out and about."
Yes.
Because I
Yeah. Yeah. Because it like, it makes me anxious that you're anxious, but I don't wanna be anxious, and, if I was on my own, I would not be anxious right now at all. Like,
Yes,
yeah. Yes.
absolutely.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah. That that really vibes with me. Okay, Madeline, let's say you're going on a first date. You haven't, like, actually met this person before. What do you do to, like, prepare yourself? I don't know, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever.
Well, one, nowadays, if I'd never met them before, I would cancel and not go.
Perfect.
If I had met them before and then we decide we're going to, like, meet up for coffee or something like that, one, I would make it later. When I first wake up in the morning, man, I don't feel like my face is fluffier and the shadows underneath my eyes are darker. I don't wanna roll out of bed at 7 a.m. and try to be somewhere at, like, 8:30, and other than work,
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's my best face. So, like, coffee around 10 or 11, probably jeans and a halfway decent shirt, obviously not one with holes in it. I do have a lot of those, they're very comfy. You keep the shirts with the holes for a reason,
Yes.
but don't wear them out on maybe the first coffee date. And if you do, then wear the blazer over the, like, covers something.
Yes.
But, like, it'll be, like, something more comfortable and but still jeans and a halfway decent shirt and maybe a light dose of makeup, but not too much because I don't want anyone to get the impression dolled up to meet them at a local coffee shop, a local diner, anywhere, like, don't ever expect me to be dolled up or in heels. So I try to lay
Yes.
that groundwork in the very first entryway.
Yeah, like, "This is who I am, this is what I look like." Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And, that's about it. There was this one guy I saw in this past summer, and we had met at a bar, and he wanted to take me out to dinner, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't feel that great that," and we were texting about it beforehand, and I just sent him a picture of me in 2 different dresses. I was like, "Which one do you want?" And he just picked the dress that he wanted me to wear, and it was obviously the 2 dresses I picked were ones I would wanted to wear anyway, so he just picked his preference over those 2, and then I just rolled out of the house, and we had a date.
That's fun. I like that.
What do you do?
I like people. I like meeting new people, hearing new people's stories and things like that. So, I try to bring that energy into a first date. I mean, usually I will have been talking to this person, via text or, maybe like a couple of phone calls or something like that for a while. And I'll have some sense of like, how they communicate and I don't know, a little bit about like what they care about or what they're like. And so I try to like bring that like I'm just going to go and have fun meeting a new person kind of energy. I definitely like depending on how I'm feeling, I will always go for the cozy clothes. Just all I might do the slightly dressier version, like
Yeah.
the black tank top and the black slightly tighter joggers, you know what I mean? Rather than the looser, baggier ones or something, or the one with the color that's not quite as, as much my color or whatever, like but, it's just like, I don't wanna show up as anybody not me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to think that I'm some way or somehow that I'm not. So, I try to bring that just like that sort of authenticity. There is always an element of anxiety, and I don't know if that's just being a kind of, an awkwardish person. I don't know if it's just being female, because even if you're meeting in public, like, it's not that hard
Yeah.
for there's the charming Jeffrey Dahmers of the world or whatever, but I also, like, just try to, like, be like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna go have a good time learning about somebody new and hearing some of their stories and, sharing some of mine." Sometimes the stories that you tell people that are, like, new to you can
Mhm.
be really, enlightening in a way that, like, I hadn't quite said this out loud before, you know what I mean? And now that I'm saying it out loud, it's like, "Oh, yeah, this, like, kinda crystallizes something that I'd never, like, articulated before." And
Amen.
sometimes, like, meeting new people, like, you're telling a story that you've probably, told some other people before, at some point, but, like, there's something about, like, this 5th time or something like that that you're telling it that you're like, "Oh, actually, I'm realizing this right now too." So I really appreciate, like, that aspect of it, and I try to, like, kind of look forward to that and not be so anxious about, like, just, are we gonna like each other or that sort of thing. Um,
Amen. I try to like
yeah.
well, nowadays, by the time I go on the first date, like, how do I wanna put it? I've generally spoken with them a little bit, like I said, either in person or through text messages or something, so I have an idea of them, of who they are, kind of what they're interested in. I noticed one thing, like, when I did date, especially this past summer, it was just the one person I did date a little bit in the winter before that. I've mostly been a no girl lately. Also, you can tell a lot about like, things can get weird before you even go to a first date. But, once I'm actually in the first date, I realize a lot of my initial energy is actually to reassure the other person, like, "Hey,"
Yeah.
to be relaxed, that they can talk to me.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Like, how much of our energy ends up going into the dude or, the other person that we're going on a date with, like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay."
Yes,
That that's always
exactly.
like a sign, like, right off the bat, like, "Oh, wait a second. They're not they're not bringing a similar energy here. Why am I having to put so much into this?"
I
Can
think
you
it's
tell me
because
Oh, go ahead.
I think men maybe face more rejection because they make more, and they like initiate more possibilities or more opportunities for interaction. So they face more rejection. So they're probably a little bit more anxious than we are.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, like, just I feel like there's a lot of pressure that they put themselves under. Like, they take way more responsibility for stuff than they should sometimes, I think. I don't know. Maybe
Like
that's
where it's
a
going to
generalization.
be, what time you
Yeah,
meet, everything. Yeah.
right, and how it goes and, like, I don't know.
Well, and
Yeah.
the script kind of is like that men are supposed to make women happy. And like, that's just such a ludicrous like
It's
script.
so ludicrous. It makes no sense. Like, why yeah, it it really is pervasive, though, everywhere, even in long-term marriages,
Oh, yeah.
and it's gross and it's harmful, and it doesn't serve anybody.
I think in my first set of vows in my first marriage, I'm pretty sure my husband even wrote that into his own vows about something about making me happy, along with, of
Oh,
course, nonsense like leading and guiding me, which, by the way, he was
Oh,
not very good at unless it was hunting related. But, like, great hunting guide, maybe not the best leader in other ways, but,
yeah.
only a good hunting guide if you're cool with someone who's your hunting guide and going to shoot your deer. Like, I just that script, I feel like it puts a lot of pressure on men, plus it puts the pressure of initiating the initial interaction. Like, I remember and we're gonna go into the tell us about your best date, and that actually started because and you can tell guys like it when women initiate conversations, initiate the suggestion of lunch or coffee, or even initiate the transaction of numbers. Like, when women initiate, you can, like, almost either sense their relief or they weren't even
Yes.
planning to do it, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Now I have this opportunity
Yes.
I wasn't even,
Yeah.
plotting away in my head."
Yeah.
And you can kinda see, like, this sense of relief that comes over them.
Yeah, usually it's shocked too.
Yeah.
Like, almost always, I think nearly every first date that I've been on recently, I'll say in advance what it's gonna be, you know? Like, I'll get mine or we'll just go to a place where it's an order at the counter sort of thing, and then you just get what you want and then pay, and then they are like, "Oh, okay."
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm what is that, going Dutch?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so yeah, go tell us about your best date.
Okay, so this goes along with the idea of being the interaction, although I was, like, a little crazy about it. So I go to this gym in the city that I used to live in, and there's this guy there that has this beard, and he is just so hot. And I see him, and I'm like, "Oh my god, at some point I gotta talk to him." And I just tell him, "You look wonderful, blah, 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 whatever." And he just says, "Oh, thanks." And then I don't see him again for a while, and I determine, I'm like, "Okay, the next time I see this guy, I am going to ask him for his number and ask him to go to lunch." And
Yep,
I have it in my mind, that's what I'm gonna do.
yep.
Well, unfortunately, like, I have this night where I'm not having the best night, and I'm like, "I'm gonna eat 3/4 of a pizza that has jalapeno poppers and cream cheese." And then I go to the gym the next day, and guess who's there? Well, I
Mel.
still have my pizza face
Oh my
and my,
gosh.
like, kinda messy hair and no makeup on and just feeling bloated as anything, and he's there, and I see him about to leave while I'm on this leg machine, I'm doing leg extensions,
No,
and he's leaving the gym, Trish, and I had to make this horrible choice.
no.
So I make the choice, I leap over this small gym wall, and I run out the gym building into the parking lot after this man, and I'm like, "Look, I think we should swap numbers and go to lunch sometime."
Yeah.
He was like, "Okay, we can do that," and he does, he looks a little surprised.
Does he recognize that you have run out the door and maybe jumped over the
Absolutely,
wall?
he knows I leaped over I believe I told him, I was like, "Look, I just leaped over a small wall to get to you," and,
Yay.
I was like, "Thank you," and he just laughed, he was like, "Yeah, I saw that, that's pretty athletic," and that ended it but our first lunch date ended up being, like, the best date ever. We're friends now to this day, we never, like, fully dated, we dated a little bit, but that first date was phenomenal, like, we were supposed to meet at 1 at Outback Steakhouse. He knew I was nervous without me ever saying a word, and he was like, "Look, just wear whatever you want. Wear your tennis shoes and jeans." And I was like, "Okay, but I'm still gonna be a couple minutes late." I'm, like, putting on tennis shoes and jeans and just feeling more relaxed because he even said anything, and he, like, sends me this song, and it's, like, a country song about, like, oh, it's totally worth waiting for a woman to debate what she's gonna wear and show up to see you and
Oh,
everything. Yeah, and it was just so cute, and we get
I
there
love
and
that.
like, he's like, "Look, I'm nervous, I'm ordering a drink." He was like, "What do you want?" I had a margarita with lunch. Next thing you know, we've, like, had a margarita, each of us,
Uh-huh.
like, a full meal, and then we go off and have one more drink on a patio somewhere, and for some reason, we drive to go see my friend, hang out with a friend of mine. It's like 5 o'clock in the evening now. He's supposed to go to another wedding. He gets out of it, but he has to go pick up a friend at the airport in his friend's vehicle the other night. So we go to his place, swap vehicles, get his buddy's vehicle, drive down to the airport, drop his, or like, we like drive around for 2 to 3 hours and then pick his buddy up at the airport at like 10 p.m. at night, drop his buddy off,
Oh
and then
my
go
god.
hang out at his house. We were like hanging out until 1 in the morning
My
and
word.
it started at 1 in the afternoon. Yeah. So
Wow.
it was such a fantastic date.
That's really, really fun. Like, it just is the date that just never ends. It just keeps going, but it's in a good way.
We were, like, singing and dancing in the car driving around in the country. I mean, I would not
That's
recommend this because if you don't know someone very well, driving
yeah.
around the country singing to music is a great way to die, but I didn't. I had a great time.
Yay. Yeah, you were living. You were living
Yes.
on your edge. What is your best post-date routine? Like, what do you do after the date's over? Self-care.
That definitely depends on the date, doesn't it, Trisha?
It really does. How about a bad one?
Okay, after a bad date, I'm definitely going to find, like, a book. I'm gonna unwind in a hot bath. Actually, like, just in general, a book and a hot bath is a great way to go. Being with my puppies, just kinda returning to my own rhythms and ways of being is always the best way. So books, the puppies, a nice bath.
What about for a good one?
For a good one, I just had such unconventional dating for the last little while in my life. Generally, like, a really, really good one generally looks like a 12-hour thing, and then I
Yeah.
don't want to see people or talk to really anyone for, like, a week because I need to be an introvert again.
Yes.
How about you?
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I think for a good one, I just am, like, feeling great because you feel so connected with somebody, after, like, a really good date. Like, you feel, like, so, like, in sync and connected, and it's nice to, like, I don't know, to get to know people, even whether it's a first or second or, fifth date or something. It's just nice to connect with people, and especially if it's, like, somebody that you're interested in, I think. So if it's a good one, I'll probably, like, maybe text some friends. I'll probably do a really good job with my nighttime routine, and I'll just do something cozy. It's actually maybe my post-date routine on a good date or a bad date is very similar. Like, just doing my best to, like, treat myself well. Yeah. So, that leads me into my next question perfectly. What have you learned about yourself while dating or not dating?
Man, while in that really the throes of what I'd call my, like, dating and romance phase in which dating, engagement, marriage, all those things kind of taught me, oh my god, so many things. I have a gun now, a bow and arrow, I have knives, just all kinds of very useful tactical tools.
Yeah.
Just from dating and being in relationships, being taught lots of different things, like everything from how to change a tire to take down a tree to hunting and fishing. Like, it built a lot of confidence, but it also made me realize, one, I do like a slower paced life and I like slower paced days and time downtime for myself. And I think being in relationships and dating, especially that dating where you're like seeing each other 2, 3 times a week,
Yeah.
and trying to work a full-time job, like, that was too much for my spirit. I found it grueling. I was looking forward to commitment, so in living together or marriage or whatever, so that kind of monopoly on my life ended, and so I
Yeah.
more stability, and I didn't really realize that until later as I was trying to seek commitment and more security just so I could actually have more me time back.
Yeah.
And so I kind of started by giving away my me time. I eventually learned to value it way more, and now I value it way more. And as I've been valuing it way more, it's hard to find someone who could actually fit into a world where I would want to date them. So I haven't been dating.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I never minded showing up when there's a need. Like when there's a
Yes.
need, like, oh, you're sick, there's something you need emotional support for. Like, I find those aspects fulfilling. It's
So
the
much.
we have to do dinner together Monday through Friday or Saturday and Sunday, and we have to do a dinner date every week because we're a couple, or and unless you have kids, like, that's kind of like the go-to. It's like, I wanted more elbow space in that, and I think even, like, one of my partners for sure probably needed more elbow space in that, and just we were kinda stuck in these very traditional roles, and that was the other thing I definitely learned while dating is, like, so many of us are just living up to this script that's just indoctrinated into us. We think we're changing it because we have, like, new modern terms for it and friends with benefits and things like that, but if you're constantly caught in this cycle where you're still investing in a relationship like you're going to go into business with them, like whether or not you plan to marry that someone or something, you're still playing into the old script. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know, dating, I just learned so much, a little bit about our society, a lot about myself.
Yeah. What are some thoughts you'd like to share with people like you or with people potentially dating people like you?
Well, one parting thoughts for people who want to date people like me, really don't send those good morning beautiful texts. It's annoying. I'm obviously not that beautiful in the morning. I'm not a morning person. and it's a pointless text message, so please don't do it.
Yep.
Um, 2, if I'm just getting to know you and I haven't managed to make time to go on a lunch date or a coffee date with you, please don't reach out telling me you have a cold and you need someone to come take care of you. That's a huge turnoff. I'm a
Ew.
busy person. I take care of myself when I have a cold. No, that's not a good way to get me to come over to cuddle. It's not happening. And, I don't know. I think the biggest thing is, like, evaluate the scripts you're living by and make sure they're ones you wrote and you're not just falling into this script that society has set out for you. And make sure you understand that when you look at where that script leads, what it's actually building to. So, and if that's something you want,
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
you could be funneling your time into a connection that's really set up for a script in which you go into business with someone, and it's less about connection, more about this transactional relationship that is so embedded into our society.
Yeah,
Evaluate those scripts, see if they really are satisfying you or if they're satisfying your partnerships. And, yeah, that's it.
I really like that. Thank you. I really appreciate your sharing with us today and look forward to whatever the next season is.
I look forward to it as well. Thank you for having me, Trisha.
I hope that you were able to glean some gems from our conversation and will join me next time for my next guest. Please like and subscribe to hear more, share with friends far and wide, and feel free to text me with questions or any thoughts. I'm grateful for you and look forward to connecting. Sending lots of love your way. If you liked what you heard today and are interested in expanding your perspective on living solo, I highly recommend the Solo Podcast by Dr. Peter McGraw. How Do You Solo is produced, edited, and designed by me, Tricia Blosser.